Good morning, everyone. I'm here to talk about the Nichols-Lawson Middle School score report as it relates to math for the standards and the data from within our school as it relates to math. First of all, I want to begin with just some demographics of our school system here because, you know, when you think about data, when you think about growth and things like that, you want to make sure that it's consistent across the board. So when we think about the demographics for our school system, these are the demographics. You know, we have a consistency here with Black, white, and Hispanic, and you see it stay consistent all the way for the past, 5 to 6 years there. And then as far as gender for female and male, you can see that quite naturally female outweigh the male population here. But this is our demographics from over the past 5 or 6 years for Silicaca City schools. Next, I want you to look at our Nichols-Lawson Middle School report card because I think this kind of flows into when we get to talking about individual data within our school. This whole scorecard here will kind of turn us in the right direction. So when you look at it, as far as the report card goes, it's broken down into 3 different sections here. And you have the learning gains, you have student achievement, you have the local indicator. The local indicator is what we use to measure over the course of the year. We put different things in place to make sure that we are following and in areas that we want to show improvement. Our student achievement, that's something that we always try to focus on to make sure that our students are achieving here while they're at school. And then this is our learning gains. So if you take a look at it for the local indicator score, you see we scored an 85 there. As far as student achievement goes, for math, right here you see we're kind of consistent there. And you look at the blue is for the district and the school is the pinkish color, and the orange would be like nationally. So as you see, we had an overall score of around, between the two of them, overall score around 62.86. Then as far as learning gains here, we know specifically the math, you see we have a lot of learning gains here, especially for our school. We outscored the national score here, and we scored 95, and the national score was 90. So, you know, here at Nichols-Lawson, we did make some good learning gains there. Next, this is going back to the learning gains for Nichols-Lawson Middle School, and we're at a 93.88 here. And if we look at math, you see this just breaks it down a little bit more from the previous slide, where we have a 95% learning gain there for Nichols-Lawson. And when you think about this, you think about how it relates to our local indicator, what we set forth to do for the year. You think about how it relates to the graduation rate, because if students are graduating, that means that they're learning something throughout the process. And then we also want to focus on the student achievement. That's our ultimate goal. So, going back to our local indicator, one of our goals for our CIP, our continuous improvement plan, was to increase the Nichols-Lawson Middle School students will increase by 3% on their math proficiency level there. And so the strategies that we were going to use were the data meetings. We have formative and summative assessments that we're going to use. We also have school-wide intervention programs where we're going to use like the IXL program. We're going to use the DIAD classes that we have there, where there's 2 core teachers in the classroom, and then we have the pre-AP classes where students in 8th grade can earn a Algebra 1 credit for high school. All right, going over to our 6th grade math, I want us to look at this. These are the students that are coming in from our feeder school, which was Pinecrest. And these are our 5th grade students this year. So in August, we started out with 143 students. And then of those 143, only 43 of them scored benchmark at 65%. And so like our percentage that we set for our students, they were, it was set at 65%. But in previous years, we did like 55%, but we wanted to up the score because they said if you up the score, that would be more aligned with the students making benchmark or scoring meeting the need on the ACT Aspire. So if we took this information from August, only 43 students in 6th grade would have been proficient on the ACT Aspire. And as you go down the line, you see your on-watch students, between on-watch and intervention, that's our middle group, and you see we have roughly 88 students there, which you can tell that that's currently more than our benchmark students. And then we have 12 students that were very urgent. If you look down to May, right here, you see we'll start with urgent. You see that there were 11 students, and we one student moved to one of the other levels and tested out of urgent. If you look down, we move one student from intervention to on watch, and then if you go from 66 to 61, you see that there is a decrease there. So that number is slowly coming down, but it is progress. And if you look right here, we started out at 43 students, and now 59 students have now benchmarked. So that's showing growth, learning gains there. Next, this is just the scale score as it relates to the state, and you can see this progression starts in 2nd grade. That's when they begin testing them on the STAR assessment. This is a STAR assessment graph here, and so it starts out in 2nd grade, and you see these learning gains for this particular age group. Now, when you go right here, you see that it's a decrease here from 65 to 54, and that's because, you know, that could have been many factors there, but you can see that the learning gain went down there. But as you notice, when you get on the 6th grade here, these students that will be eventually going into 7th grade next year, they are exceeding. That means that they're ready for their level. So as you notice here, is yellow. You have yellow all the way out. That means they're very close. They weren't there. So these students that are going into 7th grade, they should be where they need to be as far as it relates to the STAR information. Next, we have 7th grade math, and you see we started out with 164 students, and now we're at 171. And then I'm going to go down from urgent and work my way up. So if you look at urgent students, these are students that scored below for whatever reason. We started out with 14, and this May we had 9. So you see all of those strategies that we're using with the IXL, the iReady, those types of intervention programs that we're using. We also pull during our success time. We have remediation with the teachers there. So we see that whatever we're doing, whatever strategies that we're using, they are working. Then when you see our intervention students here, we went from 21 students here to 12. So that's showing we're moving these students from urgent and intervention to, they're moving to on watch or benchmark. And if you notice here, we have 66 students that started out the school year at on watch, and then now we only have 50. So the whole goal is to move them from urgent to benchmark. All right, next we have the benchmark students here. There's 63. We have 100 of those students, of those 171 students are now benchmarked. So all of our math teachers here, especially, you know, the 7th grade, they should be patted on the back. And I just want to brag about this 7th grade here, because this group we're mandated to focus with the Foundations program. And this math group here has an additional certified special ed teacher in there with the certified math teacher. And they work, they plan, they move those students, and this is showing right here what that can do. Next, this is just a scale score here from the state benchmarks that shows the growth here. As you noticed before, it did kind of go down just a little bit, but by the time they're here in 7th grade, they're at 68%, which means that they're ready. 8th grade math, started out with 159 students. 9 students were urgent and below, and we moved that to 5. Intervention, we're at 16 students, and this one, you know, kind of went up a little bit, but that's okay. And then you have on watch students at 65, and then this one went down to 57. And then benchmark here, started at 69, and then now it's 84. So there's growth there. So each one of these grade levels had growth in their levels. So I believe that those strategies are working. And here are the scale score here. And each one of the grade levels here also show by the time they're in this May, they go to the high school, they're ready. They're exceeding based on the STAR assessment. So our celebration is, we had academic growth, especially with our DIA group, that 7th grade group that I showed you just a minute ago, that had 100 students that made benchmark. And then it was like 60-something of the other ones, so that lets you know right there were only a few that were below our intervention. And then it also boosted the students' confidence around here. That lets them know that they are capable to do the job that they need to do. Do you have any questions? Thank you.